Don't bother coming home for the party, Emma. Your room is Sarah's nursery now. She needs the space more than you do. My mother's text glowed on my phone as I sat in my Tokyo apartment, staring at the screen in disbelief. Below it was a photo of my childhood room transformed into a pastel nursery. Every trace of me erased. I'm Emma Chin, 29, a software engineer in Japan. For the past 3 years I've been secretly paying my parents' mortgage and utilities after my dad lost his job. $3000 every month labeled family support, money they assumed came from some mysterious government program. My sister Sarah, the golden child, eternal favorite, had moved back home last month with her husband after announcing her pregnancy. I should have seen this coming. Another text buzzed through. The stress of having you visit might affect the baby. We think it's best if you stay in Japan for now. I stared at my banking app, the recurring transfer scheduled for tomorrow. 3 years of supporting them. 3 years of calling every weekend, sending care packages, missing holidays while they never once visited me. Flights are too expensive, they always said, ignoring the times I offered to pay. My hands shook as I dialed my best friend Kate. They did what? She asked, voice crackling through the speaker. After everything I've done, apparently I'm bad for the baby's energy, I said, keeping my voice steady. They didn't even ask. Just decided my room, my childhood, my home, isn't mine anymore. Please tell me you're canceling those transfers, Kate said. They don't deserve your help. I looked at the photo again. The blue walls my dad and I painted when I was 12 were now soft pink. The window seat where I'd spent hours reading was buried under stuffed animals. Even the tiny dent from my algebra textbook was plastered over. It was like I'd never existed. It's not that simple, I muttered. If I stop paying, they could lose the house. Sarah's having a baby I'm apparently not allowed to visit. Emma, Kate cut in. They're using you. They've been using you for years. He was right. This wasn't the first time Sarah got everything while I got nothing. When I got into MIT with a partial scholarship, my parents couldn't help. But 2 years later, when Sarah wanted community college, they somehow found the money. My first job in Tokyo? Barely acknowledged. Sarah's part-time yoga gig? Party time. My phone buzzed again. This time my father. Your mother's right. Sarah needs stability. Maybe you can visit next year once the baby's settled. Always next year. Always an excuse. I opened my laptop. 3 years of transfers, $18,000 not counting holidays or emergencies, stared back. Money they never questioned, never appreciated. Then I looked at the mortgage statement. The balance. My breath caught. Kate, I need to call you back, I said, voice tight. The next hour I crunched numbers, checked my savings, reviewed property records. By the end, a plan had formed. A plan to make them understand exactly what they were losing. My phone buzzed again. Mom, Sarah, did I tell you about the nursery? Don't make this difficult. My baby needs a proper room. You're never here anyway. I thought of all the times I wanted to visit but couldn't, all the holidays I'd missed, all the money I'd sent instead of spending it on flights. My finger hovered over the cancel button for tomorrow's transfer. But that wasn't enough. They needed to feel it. I called my bank's international service line. I'd like to discuss paying off a mortgage in full. Yes, I'll hold. The next morning, texts poured in. Photos of Sarah arranging baby clothes in my old closet. Look how perfect this space is for the baby. Sarah has such an eye for design. I didn't respond. I had work to do. I cashed out stock options, contacted a real estate lawyer. Yes, I can pay off the mortgage. But I want my name on the deed, I said. Can we do this without alerting the current owners? By the end of the call, everything was in motion. Meanwhile, Sarah's messages kept coming. Mom says you're being weird about the nursery. Don't be selfish, Emma. You already live your dream life in Japan. I smiled at the lawyer's email. They thought they were taking my room. They had no idea what I was about to take from them. That evening, my father messaged, Emma, your mother says you're ignoring her texts. Don't be difficult. Sarah needs our support right now. You understand, don't you? You've always been the independent one. Yes, I thought. Time to show them exactly who's been supporting them all along. Independent. That's what they called it when they left me to figure things out alone. When they ignored my college needs. When they forgot my birthdays but threw lavish parties for Sarah. When they took my room without even asking. I opened my laptop and typed, "Dear Mom and Dad, for the past 3 years I've been paying your mortgage and utilities. That money didn't come from the government, it came from me. Every month, $3,000 of my salary went to keeping you comfortable. I've paid off the remaining mortgage balance in full. Check your mail tomorrow for documents from my lawyer. Also, since you've decided I'm no longer welcome in my childhood home, I've made arrangements for the property's future. After all, it's partly mine now. Love, Emma." I hit send before I could second-guess myself. Within minutes, my phone exploded with notifications. "Ma, what do you mean you've been paying our mortgage?" "Dad, this isn't funny, Emma." "Sarah, are you trying to make this about you?" Typical. I silenced my phone and went to bed. Tomorrow would bring the storm. The next morning, my lawyer confirmed everything was proceeding as planned. The mortgage was paid off and my name would be added to the deed. I had officially bought half my childhood home. Around noon, the call I'd been expecting came. "Emma," my mother's voice shrill. "What is the meaning of this? These papers say you've paid off our mortgage." "Yes," I replied calmly. "I've been paying it for 3 years. Surprise. But why didn't you tell us? Would it have made a difference? Would you have treated me any differently, or would Sarah still have been more important?" Silence. "The lawyer will explain everything," I continued. "But here's what you need to know. I own half the house now. So the next time you erase me from it, remember who kept you from losing it in the first place." "You can't do this," my mother whispered. "Actually," I said, clearing my throat, "I can." And I did. "Tell Sarah to enjoy the nursery. I'm sure it will look lovely in the photos of the house when I decide to sell my share." I hung up, hands shaking but head held high. For the first time, I had real power in this relationship. They couldn't ignore me anymore. My phone rang again. I let it go to voicemail. Whatever she had to say could wait. I had a meeting with a real estate agent to discuss my options. Kate texted, "How did it go?" "Phase 1 complete. Want to help with Phase 2? I replied. "Phase 2? Oh yes," I typed, smiling. They're about to learn exactly what their independent daughter is capable of. 3 days later, the family dynamic shifted. My parents stopped texting about the nursery and began sending desperate messages to talk things through. Sarah's husband called twice, probably realizing their rent-free living arrangement was in jeopardy. Kate helped me launch Phase 2. I hired a property assessor to evaluate the house's market value. When the report arrived, I forwarded it to my family with one line. "Interesting how much half a house is worth these days." My mother called immediately. "Am I pleased? We need to discuss this like adults." "Like adults?" I laughed. "You mean like how you adults discuss taking my room? Or telling me not to come home? You were just helping Sarah." "No," I cut in. "You were doing what you always do, putting Sarah first and expecting me to accept it. But this time it's going to cost you." That evening, my father sent a long email admitting they'd taken me for granted, embarrassed to have accepted my money without question, and begging me to reconsider selling my share. I replied with 3 conditions. My room stays mine. Sarah can use the guest room for the nursery. A formal apology from everyone, including Sarah, and family counseling. Then I'll consider keeping my share of the house, my father wrote back. "But one more incident of choosing Sarah over you and it goes on the market." The next morning, Sarah called, her voice unusually quiet. "I didn't know you were the one supporting us. Why didn't you tell me? Would it have mattered?" I asked. "You've spent your life taking from me. My room was just the latest example." "I'm sorry, Emma," she whispered. "I never saw it from your side before." "Well, now you have to," I said. "Because your comfortable life in my old room depends on my goodwill." The next week, my parents converted the guest room into a nursery and restored my room to exactly how I left it, even repainting the walls blue. Family counseling began over video calls. It was awkward at first, but slowly truths emerged. Sarah admitted feeling pressured to live up to their favoritism. My parents confronted their bias. I shared years of hurt and resentment. A month later, I flew home for the first time in years. The house felt different. Not just because my room was mine again, but because the power dynamic had shifted. They couldn't ignore me anymore. Sarah met me at the airport, her pregnancy showing. "I saved your favorite coffee shop loyalty card," she said, handing me the worn card. "Been adding points whenever I could. Thought maybe we could go there together." It was a small gesture, but it felt like a start. At home, my mother had prepared my favorite meal, not Sarah's. My father showed me the house documents, my name clearly listed as co-owner. The guest room nursery was beautiful, and Sarah genuinely seemed happy with it. That night, lying in my own bed, I received a group text. Mom, we're sorry it took drastic measures for us to see our mistakes. Dad, we're proud of you, Emma. Not just for your success but for standing up for yourself. Sarah, I love you, sis. Thanks for giving us a chance to make things right. I smiled, typing back, love you too. Let's make it count this time. 6 months later, I became an aunt to a beautiful niece, named Emma after her strong, successful aunt. I fly home regularly now and they visit me in Japan. Sarah and I have weekly video call sister dates. My parents call just to check on me, not to ask for money or dismiss my feelings. Sometimes it takes losing everything to realize what you had. In my family's case, it took almost losing their house to realize they were losing their daughter. But in the end, we didn't just save the house. We saved our family. In my room, still blue, still mine, with a perfect view of my niece's nursery across the hall. Exactly as it should have been.